Hey everybody, we're picking up right after last episode where Sullivan and Preston are leaving from their meeting with the prince at the Shed Aquarium and see to the rest of the night. Let's see how it goes for them. Where you guys head? It's probably 1:30.
We could probably head over to that house if you want, or we can head back to our place and figure out what the fuck we're going to do because we're being subjected to fucking Tremere scrutiny. And that's a problem.
Well, I think if we're being subjected to Tremere scrutiny, I mean, we're already being watched.
Sure.
There's no way that's the only thing.
There's no way we haven't been being watched. Come on, let's be real here. At the very least, we know Crook is watching, so we can assume there's others. Because why wouldn't there be? We're making, as much as I hate to say it, we've made too much noise in too little time to not be on people's radar, which isn't a bad thing. We've gained a lot from it. But now we just got to be vigilant.
God, I'm so glad I bought off that flaw.
No shit.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been really, really bad.
Yeah, that would not have been good.
So you guys are driving to the south side of the city, heading down towards Larsen's address, or you go towards East Pilsen, I should say. And getting there is not that difficult. You're not followed that you can tell. There's nothing weird going on. Don't get any more phone calls. But you pull up on the street to this like old school like Chicago 3-flat bungalow. Just kind of looking a little decrepit, if I'm honest. The siding is a little old and it's just dirty. You've got the lawn hasn't been really manicured, even though it's still just starting to be spring. You can see it just hasn't been cut or taken care of. You can see that some of the windows have like that, almost like that, the iron staining, the oxidation that's kind of creaking down some of the windowsills and on the brick. It just looks tired. It looks like an old house.
All right. Well,
I'm still
as
on the
usual.
other thing. Hang on, real quick.
All right.
Based on what I know about the occult and blood sorcery, just how, on a scale of 1 to we're fucked, how bad is this DuSable evaluation?
Well, all of you have been touched in one form or another by demonic entities, right? You've had
before we ever came here.
Right, you've had their influence, flam into you, etc. But you do know there are rituals that can detect diablerie, they can detect your generation, they can detect your lineage, which means they can get your claim.
That's the problem. Is the lineage. That is
Right.
definitely the fucking
Now,
problem.
for Preston in particular, you underwent an entirely magical rite to become re-embraced as a Baali. That has ramifications on your soul that with enough mystical scrutiny can be detected.
Yep.
If DuSable is as potent of a thaumaturge as rumor has it, and he gets unhindered access to you guys to do these examinations, potentially you are very fucked in terms of when it comes down to keeping your cover intact.
But a bonus that you have to take into accounting is after tonight, should I live, I'll reawaken our mentor and potentially we can find a way around this.
What he means to say is someone's getting close to mastering that level of blood sorcery that can allow him to wake up Quincy.
Yes. That's exactly
He's like,
what
I'm
saying.
putting the pieces together right now, man. Like, we just got to hold out a little bit longer.
In
Right.
worst case scenario, even he says bail, then we got to bail. There's no way around it. We're being subject to the one clan that can absolutely find out what's what. And then we're fucked.
Now,
Absolutely.
politically, Preston also knows that DuSable and his ilk are in bed with Sierra. So if you have any social currency with her left after this exchange, there might be some wiggle room there. To be like, I don't trust the Tremere, why would I have them, like, to kind of make something up to not have to be subjected. But you could probably think of some reasons why it'd be feasible not to want to have the Tremere run examinations on you guys thaumaturgically. It
And
doesn't
Lamont
come
would be
off as
there
like you're
too.
three to hide something. Yeah, and Lamont.
It's not just us two, it's Lamont.
Yeah,
too.
it's the
So
three of you.
We need that third mind to try to navigate this because this is a fuck us situation.
Yeah, but Prince Jackson was not at all a little bit interested in listening to my bullshit because that's what I was going to try for. Like, hey,
Right. But-
Tremere, this is a problem. This is fucked up.
But Sierra, hopefully still workable relationship. I mean, she had to understand it's tit for tat. She shat on us first. This is a political situation. You are a prominent Toreador.
Yeah, she
You
fucked
had
up.
to, you
She
had to bite
fucked up.
back.
Yeah, well, and she fucked up by slipping out that he escaped.
That's true.
From their own place.
Right. That sounds like a fucking air problem, right?
She
No.
has to get slapped, Your Honor. That's what I heard.
She has 2 times. No.
All right. So, fuck. All right. So we
That's a
pull up to
problem
this-
for another day, Preston. Let's go.
All right. Okay.
To the
So it's a
back.
bungalow style house. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys arrive outside. And like I said, it's just tired looking bungalow. Looks a little bit in disrepair. It blends in with the rest of the houses on the street though, so that it fits in. That's the kind of the point of these havens, anyways. You guys find a parking space not that far away, and you approach the house. No lights on. Nobody seems to be home on any of the levels. How do you want to handle this? You don't have a key.
Probably go to the back, and I'll attempt to pick the lock.
All right. You slide back between the houses through the gangway, get to the back area. There's a small yard and then garage right behind that. So you have the garage by the alleyway, a little small yard, like maybe like 30 feet by 30 feet, and then the house itself. Get to the back door. Looks like a standard lock. There's no special precautions that have been taken that you can tell. It looks like just a lock. But as you go to touch it, to work your magic with lockpicks, you feel like, I shouldn't touch that lock. You're familiar.
That motherfucker.
You know that sensation because you can make those wards yourself.
I'll back up and I'll just look at Preston. He fucking warded the locks like a dickhead. We're gonna have to try and get in through a window unless he warded the fuck out of those too.
That's a lot of blood if you did that.
That's true, but that's why I'm gonna try the windows. I'm not ruling them out yet. Locks? All right, gotcha. Now we're gonna try the windows like a fucking cat burglar.
So you come up through the back door. It's got there's like a little small like foyer there in the back where people take their boots off and such. A little staircase that goes up to it. That's where you find a lock. And you kind of take a step back and look around. And there are basement windows. Some of the other basement windows you saw have like the glass blocks. Some have had bars. These are just straight up glass, but they're all like spray painted black from the inside.
Makes sense. We'd have done something similar. So I'll basically pull out like a pocket knife or something, and I'll kind of jimmy it under and see if I can find where that little latch can.
So you jimmy under, you kind of get past some of the caulking and some of the woodwork. You're starting to chip off bits of wood here from the sill of the window. Pop it open eventually, and as you open that small like slat window, there are bars down here on the inside.
Fuck this dickhead.
Fuck him for having a
I'm gonna-
secure haven.
Right, that secure haven motherfucker. No, I'm gonna grab the bars and I'm gonna wiggle just to see if this place is old. Chances are the bars are old.
The bars are in there pretty solidly at your level of strength and lack of potence.
Yes.
However, what it looks like this is doing, it's forcing you to either go through the front door, which is facing the street, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, or go through one of the main level windows. Because those you can see like look normal. Like nobody blacked those out. You can see like into the house a little bit, like into the kitchen. You just would have to break them.
Scorpion's touch is an acid, right?
No.
Damn.
Unless he didn't lock the windows. I'm gonna try to see if he'd left a window unlocked.
You go and check one of the windows and try to push it up. It's locked.
Well, that's all I got.
Moreover, as you get up there and start you're like, fuck, what's going on? He nailed the insides of the windows, like the corners, into the frame.
Oh, that's
So you
What a
literally have
dick.
to break the windows to get in.
well.
Where's Lamont? He's got silence. Motherfucker. Oh, that sucks so bad.
Well,
Well,
it's not that great of a neighborhood. I mean, you might be able to get away with breaking a window and sneaking in.
Orbit can just go out front and hope nobody's watching. Act like we're supposed to be there. I don't know.
Or we break the window, going to obfuscate,
Yeah.
and wait. And then if nobody cares, then we're okay.
Or if somebody does care, I mean, we just go and obfuscate anyways.
Yeah, if somebody cares and comes by, I could eat.
Fair. All right. I'll just kind of scooch my ass to where my feet are up in front, and I'll boot fuck a window.
Do you want to do the front of the house, one of the sides of the house, or the back?
Probably the sides of the house.
Okay. So you go up in that middle area,
A little alleyway.
and you kind of reach up, like because the windows are roughly about chest height.
Right.
And you go to smash the window, and you're like, obfuscate.
Yep.
The glass shatters on impact. Like he hits that thing hard enough to just break it open, and it just breaks in these large chunks. Some fall inside, some kind of fall outside. And as the last of that kind of clashes to the ground, you guys manage to find spots and hide yourselves via your powers of obfuscate. As you close yourself off to the world, things get a little bit dimmer for a moment. And as you're watching, 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by. One of the lights in one of the buildings beside you kind of went on as people kind of looked out, but seeing nobody, you see the light just go back off. Nobody seems to be coming. Nobody seems to be coming to check it out. Just a brief, like, one light went on. Didn't see shit. Light went off.
All
Leaving you
right.
guys in silence.
Nice. In the window we go.
You guys will climb your asses up into the house. It's a little difficult, but I'm not going to make you make an athletics roll. It just takes time is all it does. You guys get into essentially the dining room, and you find yourself in this 3-flat that is relatively well maintained. There's a lot of books in the dining room. There's a dining room table with just all kinds of books scattered about the table. Nothing overtly masquerade breaking, like nothing weird or strange or diabolical. It looks like he was studying up on the history of Chicago. A lot of stuff on landmarks and sites, bloodlines and lineage books that are from the city's office. Like he managed to like get reference books about people who were here before, and immigrants and census data. Looks like he's just been looking at a lot of like his history of Chicago itself.
I'm gonna go check out the basement.
You head towards the back by the kitchen and go down the basement door. It's open entirely, and as you start walking down, you feel this like dampness in the air, and the scent of like just musty, like old mildew kind of hits your nostrils. And at the bottom of the stairs is like a little pull chain for a light. You click that on, and it sheds this pale illumination across the bottom here. And it's this old concrete basement that's just dusty as fuck. You'll see old like bicycles down here and some old furniture. It looks like he probably either killed the former residents or just bought this a long time ago and just kept it looking like an old house. But there's no well, that's for sure. That's the first thing you see. But you do see off in a corner this massive work desk with some old school like bookshelves around it. There's like an old banker's light.
Looks like we'll kick the light on and check his desk out in the surrounding area.
You make your way over there and kind of click on the banker's light, and you're looking at all his handwritten notes. And you know it's his writing because it matches the ritual that you guys have from Quincy's book, the one he stole from Larsen. And it's a mixture of writings in Latin, Akkadian, and another from Persian. And it's just scattered among this desk. It looks like what you can read in the Akkadian, and with Sullivan's knowledge of academics and a bit of that Latin, the classical training you got for your antiquities, it looks like he's detailing some sort of rite being built up to that requires the essence of 13 different clans. This is supposedly set up from what you can tell in some of the... Because the script, he changes Latin to Persian to Akkadian. What you're able to make out looks like he's putting together that this is supposed to be funneled into a massive rite to awaken the Methuselah.
Interesting. And that's just any Methuselah, right? In theory?
In theory, sure.
I will start gathering all his rightist information that we come across in this entire house. I don't care if I have to go upstairs, grab a sheet, fucking throw a bunch of shit, and then grab all 4 edges and sling it over my shoulder like Santa. I'm grabbing all of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of loose leaf papers and some scrolls down here even. So you had to put all this stuff in the like the middle of like a bed sheet and just wrap it up and over the shoulder of that shit. Otherwise, Absolutely. You'll be down here for hours.
Yeah, no, this is stuff I would have to take back to the house, decipher, let our mentor decipher, because a lot of this shit is probably way past my fucking skill level too. So yeah, but it needs to come with, because it getting into anyone else's hands is bad fucking news. As
you start throwing the stuff onto the sheet and start wrapping it up, you're shuffling papers around down here. You hear this like jingle as like some of the bicycles down here that are been laid against the walls and such start to move, like somebody's been moving past it. Like there's somebody else down here with you.
I wish I had Auspex.
Look around with Auspex.
With Auspex, you will see this outline of this small, almost like toddler-sized creature hunched over, make its way out of the darkness and start coming towards the light, but it stops just at the edge. And as you focus on it, you'll see these 2 red dots of eyes start to glow, and it starts to slowly appear. So this deformed, like, swarthy colored creature with like these diminutive horns that are sticking out of its head, and this like drooping mouth that is just filled with fangs. And it goes, "Master, your hold has weakened, Master." And it sees you and says, "You're not the master. Who are you?" And it points this like hooked claw towards the 2 of you.
The master is dead.
Master's dead. Then I will claim your essence as it starts to grow into more human-sized, rather an adult-sized creature. And as it starts to pop up, you hear the bones distend and crack, and the flesh rips open, revealing this knotted, like mottled flesh beneath it, as that swarthy colored skin just starts to fall off its body.
I'll just kind of look over at Preston like, how would I have guessed that Larsen dealt with a lesser creature? And I'll just kind of gesture to the demon, and I'm gonna address it. I don't want to get eaten by a fucking demon. Fuck that.
Okay.
Holy fuck. That's 9 successes, sir.
I'm not even going to roll.
That's a fucking
Just
lot.
waste your
Holy
time.
shit.
As you slam into this demon, this little imp, essentially, with your presence, you'll see it kind of like tilt its head as it looks towards you, and it smiles this toothy grin as a bit of drool splatters from its mouth onto the floor below. And you'll see it just like a stuttering in its image as it shrinks back down to that small, like, visage. At least you're not scared, new master. What can I do for you?
Do you know where the old master kept all of his research other than here? Did he have another hiding spot someplace he had you guard, maybe?
He did. And he'll start moving.
Getting into the wrong hands would potentially mean your destruction, and we don't want that.
He starts moving towards you, more into the light, and as he's walking, you'll see as a clubfoot he's half dragging across the ground. And as it kind of hobbles its way towards you and passes by that desk, you see it look up at Preston with his baleful eyes, and those eyes just glow, like angry. Like if it wasn't for new master here, you'd be a feast. And he makes his way over to this part of the wall. He pushes with these 2 gnarled hands. He grabs the side of this bookshelf and pushes it down. You hear it scrape across the concrete and across the wall behind it. And there's a small safe in the wall into the foundation of the building. And he points at, that's where old master, dead master, kept his good things.
Good to know. Do you know what numbers
I do.
old master used? What do you eat? You have to be hungry. Old master's been gone for a little while.
Blood. Innocent blood.
Oh, okay. How far are you able to venture away from me?
I'm stuck here. This is where old master summoned me, where I must remain. Until it wears off, which means that the world will be my playground.
All right. Do you know... I'll tell you what. Do you know where it hurts the most when you go? Is it towards the outside? Is it towards one of the doors, maybe? I know a little bit about what old master probably did to bring you here and how he keeps you here. So if I can maybe get rid of that so you can leave even sooner.
He just smiles at you. He points to this dark area behind the stairs. Circle there is where he brought me. Destroy it. I can leave. I can't leave the area of the circle too far. I start to lose myself.
Even with... if the circle's destroyed, you'll be all right, though, yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, what are the numbers?
I mean, he'll list off the combination to you.
I'll just kind of look at Preston and be like, all right, let's roll. I'll try to open it up.
All right.
You do, and you'll find a series of small journals that are in there. Small books, like little moleskins. Nothing too big. Just a bunch of them, though.
Fair enough. I'll start putting those onto the fucking sheet.
And you do find 4 vials of blood.
I'll pull out one of the vials of blood, and I know I have, like, I'm basically a blood connoisseur in essence with that merit I have. I'm gonna pop one of the vials and take a sniff.
It's kindred vitae.
Well, I'll cap it back up. It's not innocent blood, so there's that.
It isn't. It's a vampire's blood.
I'll give the vampire blood over to Preston. We might be able to use those if we find out whose they are. They're not ash, so they're not his.
They are different colors. The stoppers are different colors on the vials.
Okay.
Probably to identify them.
Maybe in some of his translations he'll have what colors correlate to which vampire, potentially. I'll worry about that later. Yeah, but once I clear everything out, I'll just kind of be like, so to add to the chaos of the city, we can unbind this demon. Especially if I give it directions to where the hole is. You know, the one that we already discovered and destroyed the house on, giving more credence that hole was bad news.
Well, see, I was thinking about the other hole that we know where it is.
Oh, you're talking about that was under the Drake, right? Like deep under the Drake?
Yep.
Actually, we don't even know where we ended up because we walked in those tunnels for like an hour. So that may be well far away from the Drake, but yeah, no, we could probably do that. Or,
I was thinking.
I mean, it doesn't require anything but innocent blood. We could ask it if it just wants to come with.
He just looks up at you. Like he sits down on the edge of the desk, like hops himself up and sits down and just looking at you, Jeff, like enamored, since you have entranced the shit out of him.
Yes, I did. And then we can just, figure out how to best utilize him so he's not. I'll just kind of gesture over to him so he's not wandering around and, gonna put himself in danger.
He looks at Preston, and for a second, his image kind of shudders for a second, and he looks like an innocent child. Tan skin, dark hair, with cute little cherub-like smile. He's like, "Please, sir, help me be free."
This is the life and times of Preston and Sullavin. That's why I want your input, Preston. Let's figure this out so we have a really good story for Lamont.
Well, I
The
don't
little-
know. I mean, you're the new master.
The little Spanish demon child, kind of crosses his legs on the edge of the desk and is just kind of slowly like rocking back and forth. And Sullivan, you can look over, you see that he's cast his illusion over himself, but since he's not trying to fool you, it's like a double image. You see his like twisted form beneath it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go take a look at this room.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Let's go take a look at the other room.
Yeah. We're going to go to the room under the stairs, Ray.
There's no room, like it's just empty, like it was just dark. So you make your way down around there. There's no light that's there. It's being shed that direction because there's like old like boxes and shit. It just leaves it completely dark back here. But there are like small like old flashlights you can use, or you can use your phone light.
Yep.
Click on the
Or
light
if
on your
there's
phone.
candles around, I'll light a fucking candle or something.
Surprisingly, no candles out here. But you click on the light on your phone,
sure.
and you cast this sterile like white light out, and you start walking back, and you're going through like all these boxes and stuff, and you see Christmas decorations and Timmy's birthday, 2002, and you kind of make your way around, and behind all these boxes, there's this ritual area set up, like a small little like desk or shelf unit that's been put up, where there's old candles and like some like an athame or an athame, I should say, and like ritual bowls and chalices, and then there's that circle that's inscribed into the ground, almost chiseled into the ground. It's like it's a summoning circle. But you can see, knowing the Akkadian as you do and having studied some of these rituals now, it's not only a summoning, but it's also binding this demon to this location.
Sure, makes sense. It's similar to the when you pull the demon up and they have to stay in the circle when you're questioning them and shit. So I get the general gist because I have that.
You do also get the casual name of this demon that's inscribed in there to kind of bind it here.
Oh, all right.
And that demon's name
Give me a
is
second.
Arka, Arka.
Do I know with my knowledge of the Akkadian language, does it stand for anything? Like is Arca attributed to like a pestilence demon? Or...
It is not. Well,
Okay.
not anything in that name that kind of brings those to the fore. With some research, you probably did something up, but what it looks like, given that your interaction with him, he's probably a demon of deception of some sort.
Fair enough. That would explain the double image. And
He's been using
trying to
illusions since you
deceive.
guys got here, so that would
Yeah.
only make sense.
All right. Well, we can set him free. I'll ask him if he wants to come back with us, or we can just set him free and give him the directions to that well and just see if he wants to fuck with it as part of a thank you for us giving him his freedom.
I can hear the gears turning.
Well, I want to find a way to use the knowledge of where that other well is to direct enough attention off of us so that maybe it'll get us out of this fucking test. So I'm thinking that if we give that location to this demon, but we also find a way to plant other evidence in the area so that when the obvious chaos ensues, or we call in a sinkhole underneath the Drake, and when whoever goes to investigate it, eventually it'll get popped up the chain enough, and somebody will go and find it, like, oh, this is another one of those things, and oh, there's Larsen stuff here, and whoever else maybe we want to frame here, maybe that'll take the heat off of us, and be like, oh no, those two guys aren't involved in that. It's this other asshole, and it was Larsen all along.
We could do that. We could
That's
take
what
some of
I'm-
his stuff and put it there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm cool. Go upstairs, grab some of his shit that we can drop off and leave there.
Bonus
Because
points
we can
if we can
swing
frame it
by
from
that
here.
on the way home. That would be nice, but in the spur of the moment, I don't think we can. That would take some planning and fashioning to make that look legit. We can
have-
frame Larsen. That's easy as fuck right now. We could literally swing by the Drake on the way home.
I think they already are onto him though. They know that it was his crew at that other location.
Right. This just affirms it.
What
If they
if we
find some of his shit,
What if we sneak? We know where the Tremere Chantry is.
sneak some of his shit into the chantry from our contact.
Well, sneaking some of his shit in there isn't going to do anything. We need to get some Tremere shit out of there and to this other fucking well.
We got to do this quick because remember, once he's free, he doesn't even have to go do that if he doesn't want to. He can just go and fuck around wherever he wants to go. Like, I'm hoping he's just like, cool, yeah, you guys are cool. I'll go fuck with this for a couple days, and then it gives us some time. But if he wants, he could say fuck you and just bounce.
Well, that's why we don't give him that option. We make a fucking deal with him.
There's
you
so
make
much
a deal
other
with
shit.
him. You're the master.
Well, there's so much other shit. We don't have to make a deal with him. That's the thing.
Well, we do if we want him to go where we want him to go.
Nah, we just got to get him to come back with us if we want to, because we can utilize him for a whole bunch of other shit. Like, he's already summoned. There's no deal that needs to be made. We just need to feed him, give him what he needs, and...
Kind of incorrect, Jeff. He's already been summoned, yes. He's been bound to this spot, yes. You break that circle, he's pretty much free to go. He hasn't been dismissed, so he can go wherever he wants to for as long as he can without, as long as he's meeting his need on this plane.
Until I can repurpose the ritual to rebind him to our house.
Right. If you press him into service, you're going to have to make a deal with him. Yes, he likes you now. That's why he's not attacking you. But dealing with demons. You guys haven't really done it yet, but you know of it. And that means you have to really codify your relationship because they will try to take everything they can.
Right. And I'm not giving him any sort of, short of like finding him innocent blood, I'm not giving him part of my soul. I'm not doing any of that shit. Worst case scenario,
give him somebody else's soul.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I assume he feeds off of innocent blood. He's a demon. He probably sups off some of the soul, whatever little bit of soul or essence is left in that blood.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why did you guys not want to make that deal that Preston just said with Vanathra, but you're willing to do it with this little bastard? Oh, give him somebody else's soul. That's what Vanathra asked.
I was willing to do it. I was on board.
Nate wasn't. And we were like, okay.
Lamont's the stick in the mud. He's the party.
Lamont is the stick in the mud.
He
Absolutely.
He said, go get Daddy's belt, and we weren't allowed to do that.
Right.
I don't know. That's just what I think. Sullivan, you're the master. So
it's either that or we just let him go and let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I have his name. I have access to the ritual. In theory, I can just resummon him if we want to make a deal. In theory, at this point, knowing names and being able to wake up our mentor, there's probably going to be a lot of shit I'll have access to pretty soon.
Fair enough.
So we just let him run amok. We'll be like, hey, we're setting you free. Please go fuck with this area just for a couple days, and then you can spend the rest of your time doing whatever the fuck you want. And then we'll figure out what we want to do from there. That gives us a couple days to supplant anything we can get from the Tremere, any of this shit that's in here that we want to frame Larsen for, or anybody else we want. Because they find shit down there and look further, they're going to find that hole.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the deal. That's the deal.
Right.
We let you go if you do this for us. Not we let you go and we hope that you do this for us.
Right. No. I know. I'm letting you know. We're just hoping.
Right on.
Because he can do whatever the fuck he wants at this point.
Well, not if we enter into a fucking deal with him. Then he's bound by the deal.
Well, we can enter a temporary deal with him. We can go get him some innocent blood right now. We can allow him to feed. And that is payment for doing what he's doing. That way, in theory, Lamont will never have to know. He'll never get angry.
Well, the payment is we're letting him free out of this place. That's his payment. We don't owe him shit beyond that. We don't give him extra things while getting extra things.
Yeah, that's fair.
We let you out if you spend X amount of time at this location. Solid. Right. You get this, we get that.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just kind of look over at the demon and be like, you heard that? Yeah?
You turn and look back, like the way you guys came around these boxes of the ritual area, and you'll see this pair of eyes roughly like a foot above your head staring down at the two of you as you're talking. Like he's been there the whole fucking time.
Yeah, of course he has.
We give you this address. You spend, let's say, 2 nights, 3 nights doing that, just fucking with the area, not being there when people come to try and hurt you or be bad to you. You can I mean, I'll point at him right now. You're doing it right. You don't have to be there type of deal. And then after that, you're free. Now the good thing is, I do know your name. So when this freedom lapses, I can still bring you back later if you want to come back. I don't know if you like it in hell, but I mean, this has got to be better than that.
You'll hear this multitude of voices. This is acceptable.
I'll pull out my one of my daggers and I'll start cutting through the middle of his name to let him free on the summoning circle.
All right, so you start to go mess with the ritual circle and just deface it and try to break its power. And as you start making your way around it and messing with it in ways that you are pretty sure is going to affect this, I need you to roll your willpower.
Current willpower?
Yep.
Oh boy.
That's how thaumaturgy worked in the old days, son. And
He
most of the
said
days.
is fucking true. How many dice do we have?
You have 7.
Yeah, I used 2 or 3.
I'll use 3. That'll give me a solid 5, and I'm not rolling humanity. What the fuck did I hit that for?
2 successes.
Two
All right.
successes.
So you are working your way around this, and you feel this mystical release of this infernal energy as you pop the ritual, essentially. And it washes over and through you, and for a moment you feel the demon try to grab at you, and it gets blown away by you breaking this binding.
It's a demon. I can't be mad.
You hear a soft laughter, and that original voice here, that gruff like master, small chuckling laughter, and then it goes silent in here, and you feel the presence has left.
Just like that, sir. We have unleashed a small demon on the world.
Yeah, well, let's hope
There's
we did it.
Sabat here. There's definitely issues with a child or an amalgamation of a child and a vampire. There's Second Inquisition. And now there's a demon. All right, cool. Welcome to Chicago. Let's gather what we need to gather and get the fuck out of here.
All right, you guys head back home?
Yeah, after we gather all his shit, I'll definitely take a cursory glance through all these boxes because clearly there's something in them.
It's literally like what you'd expect. Where the box that says Christmas decorations is Christmas decorations.
So he definitely killed whoever fucking lived here, probably.
Probably.
Took this motherfucker over. All right.
But you do find there is no well in this house. There isn't one.
Yeah.
That's good though. What do we have? Do I have some stuff that can definitely tie back to Larsen? Not ritual wise that we can.
No, you guys, you have his writings.
Because if we can tie both Larsen and the Tremere to that well, it's like they're in bed, and then they're fucked.
Larsen never had like any signature stuff. Like didn't have a cane or any jewelry really that he wore. The only thing you have of him here are some clothes, maybe. But then that's kind of like, maybe did he wear that suit? I don't remember because you guys saw him like 3 times.
Yeah, that's true.
Clothes and his writing. That's really it.
All right. Well, it still gives us 3 days to try and figure out how we can implicate the Tremere.
All right. Yeah, we'll gather his research and I'll take those vials, obviously.
Okay.
And then we'll head out.
You secure those 4 vials. They're just a different color stopper on each one, and you guys grab that weird like moving sack from like the olden days of books and writings that Sullivan's made out of like a bed sheet, thrown over one shoulder. You guys make your way out. Are you leaving through the window again, or are you leaving through the front door, the back? How do you want to leave?
We should go back out the window.
Probably the window. We'll definitely obfuscate it.
So Preston makes out the window without an issue. Sullivan's carrying this big ass bag made out of cloth through torn glass. There are some moments where you're like, shit, this is gonna rip and just spill everything up over this gangway. But you manage to make it out just barely. I'm not gonna be that big of a dick. But you do scratch the bed sheet a bit threadbare in some areas where it's like one good jerk on this thing is gonna rip right open and spill everything out into the sidewalk. So you make it back to the car, being careful, throw that in the back. You've got your strong, like scented, like, Glade plugins in the freaking air vents.
New car smell.
To hide the fact you carry dead bodies in here. Now you got these old musty books, and you guys just start heading back north to your haven. You make it home probably 3 o'clock. You got probably 3 hours before the sun starts to peak at the edge of the horizon. You park the vehicle, get this sack of shit over your shoulder. Preston's got the vial of blood and some of the moleskins, I'm assuming. And you make your way into the front of the house. You go through the front door, and as you step into your kitchen, you hear this woman say, "It's about goddamn time you're here. I've been waiting here for like an hour," and it's Sierra.
Well, didn't know you were coming.
Yeah, of course
How's it
I'm
going,
coming.
Sierra?
Good. We need to have a chat. What the fuck is that? And she just points at the bag.
Just bullshit, basically. I'll just kind of plop it down next to the couch and pop a squat. So what's up?
Right. So officially, if you guys decide to call us shit about this, I'm here on investigations as the sheriff. So fuck your domain. Unofficially, we need to have a chat, and she'll just walk over towards your living room and just sit down. First off, I'm not mad at you. I needed to give the impression that we were at odds, and Preston, you played into that wonderfully. So thank you. Rosa sold me out and sold our deal out to the prince, and Jackson got pissed off. And then Alexa couldn't find anything down below the AIC. Now, I know that they're just failing. Alexa went down there, they didn't find anything, came back and reported a null, basically saying, I think they were seeing shit or made some shit up. There was nothing there. I sent Yesenia down there. There was some dirty shit down there. Like, we're talking bad juju. Matching kind of what was at that house that you guys ran across and saved Alexa from. So when you saved Alexa and pulled their ass out of the fire, you found a thing that was connected to whatever the fuck it was that you guys found below the AIC. So I know something's going on. Alexa, I don't know what's going on with them. I'll figure it out later, but they're being very, very hostile. I think they want the position. You know, sheriff, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I need you all to still give the show that you were butting heads, that were hostile at court. I need an ace in the hole when it comes to court relations, that you guys can get your ears places I can't. And vice versa, I can get you access to things that you wouldn't have without somebody on the inside. I think this works out very well for all of our benefit.
I would agree with you. What I will say is that us being able to operate that way around the city could potentially be seriously hampered by having our souls and our blood and our spirits in the hands of Dusable and the Tremere, who can use that information for anything that they want going forward.
I get what you're saying. Unfortunately, I don't have enough clout yet with the prince to say, why are we doing this? It's not necessary. Dusable and his people have been looking for a reason to get back into court. You know what I mean? They're not really allowed to have a position on the Provincial Council. They're not really allowed to get too involved right now because apparently Jackson had an issue with an old primogen that was here for them. I don't know about that shit. It's not really my pay grade. I don't really care. But
yeah, that's
I
why
do know
Dusable's not officially a primogen. He's just kind of a representative.
not even that. He's not anybody. He has to go through people. Like, Jackson has humiliated Dusable by making him go through Marcel to talk to the Provincial Council in any sort of official capacity. I'm sure
I've seen that on Elysium a couple times, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure Dusable has some back connections like we have going on here, but in view of the court in front of everybody, he has to go through Marcel. So on that end, even though Dusable and I have an understanding, he's really leaning towards, in my opinion, doing this to get into Jackson's good graces so that the prince owes him one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I do. It just feels like, and I'm sure maybe even to others, it might look like the people who went and rescued Alexa and did something good for the city are now in a way being punished by...
Oh, this isn't out in the court. Me, Alexa, you all know about it. Dusable knows about it. Nobody else does. Jackson is supremely paranoid that whatever was there could have infected everything that was in that area. Alexa's already gone through it. They went to the Dusable on, like, literally last night at the end of everything, and spent the day with the Tremere of the Chantry and came back with a clean bill of health. So that's why he's touching else. The other problem is this is compounded by the other individuals that you found there. They were cultists of a sort that we haven't seen in the city apparently, or the city hasn't seen in quite some time, and it made Jackson incredibly paranoid. There's some sort of diabolic bloodline, I guess, that Jackson knows about that these people hearken from, and it's put him on edge. He's seeing threats in every shadow. He wants anything that's been to that site checked out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Yesenia knows what they were. As she mentioned, it's like Baki or something. I don't know. I don't really care. But I know that she knows what these things are and I guess kills them for a living. I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like I want to know.
Right, sounds like out of my pay grade.
Yeah, you don't want to know. We took everybody in. I got a great deal of benefit from it with Jackson, and Yosemite did for identifying, and then DeSable came and verified with their sorceress ways, and then Yosemite killed them all with the Prince's decree, quietly behind the doors, and then we've been doing what we can to find out more about what they were here doing and where they were, but we've got this problem now. Malenkov's bringing more Sabat in. They're after something in the city is potent enough to warrant Sabat attention to this degree. They're not just here for Malenkov anymore to get him out of here. Now they're here to just raise whatever is here of Camarilla, elders and blood or whatever, I'm guessing, to the ground. And then we've got the Hunters, Second Inquisitions in town. Hard because of that pit you guys found.
I mean, it doesn't help that there's 10 plus caitiffs stuck in a building for weeks on end either. Like, that's going to draw attention. Not that that's your call. That was the Prince's call, and it's understandable. But, I mean, let's be real. Other things are drawing their attention. It's not just that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's caitiff.
Sure. But thanks. I get it.
Well, you're not
just
there,
smirking her.
so, you know.
Well, right.
All right. So what do you need me to do? Just be sort of a dick to you on Elysium, or what?
Yeah, just a cold shoulder, stares, like, you know, just we can't be seen talking politely
Yeah.
on Elysium. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Also, keep your eye out. We had this Ashira delegate in town. Apparently, her childhood has gone missing.
What's
I don't-
Nashira?
It's a different club. It's a different set of vampires. They're from the Middle East. They're working with the Camarilla because of Sabat and Action and the Gehenna War.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know what the,
it's a huge thing. Yeah, they're two. What do they call themselves now? Banu Hakim. Used to be Assamites.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
So this
so
is this
When you
is
said
this
Banu Hakim,
delegate-
I was like, I just didn't hear him referred to as a Shira before.
this
Well, that's
delegate-
their sect, right?
This is Shira delegates chilled is missing. You're saying
Yeah.
you got a name for either of them?
Yeah, Miss Rana is the one that's missing. And the sire's name is Khadija Al-Kindi.
What was the child's name again?
Miss Rana. Aicha Rana.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a Sabat situation. I don't know if it was a Inquisition situation, but we know people are losing touch with some of their clanmates at this point in time. Now, we know about this one because the sire sent the child to Elysium tonight, but she never arrived. I know that because we had people who were actually arrived at Elysia early at the Civic Opera House, and she was not among those that we had to try to account for after the attacks. Pretty much everybody got out. Ironically, Second Inquisition showing up spared us a lot of death on our side.
Good. Did they get rid of the Sabat?
As far as I'm aware, since I wasn't there, word got to me that they got driven off. I don't know if they got destroyed at all or captured.
Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out because chances are they're not the only pack. Because why would they be so brazen as to do that if they're the only pack in the city? And you said if the Sabat in general have been kind of drawn to this city, which I could agree with the Sabat activity, it's probably not just that.
Whatever it is, we gotta be really fucking careful right now. The city's getting a little more and more tense, and unfortunately, we're kind of on a powder keg, so to speak.
It'd be harder to feed too. People are going to definitely have to mind their P's and Q's.
Yeah, which sucks because the circulatory system was run by the Thin Bloods that can get blood in like easy. They had connections with hospitals and all that, but now the Thin Bloods don't want to deal with Jackson because
Right?
he's fucking them. So
Yeah.
we're all kind of screwed right now.
Maybe, you know what? As much as I hate to say it, maybe they could use that as a card to get back in, at least to be welcome like anarchs or something. To be like, okay, it's hard to feed. We'll give you our shit if we can get out of here. But again, I don't hang out with them. I don't even have a discourse with them. So
Maybe
that's on them.
I know Jackson doesn't want them in the city anyways, so that's I don't know what the plays
Sure.
there. Again, above my pay grade, not really my concern at the moment. Later on, it will be obviously, but right now, it's not really on my radar. However, I will try to talk to DuSable and see how he feels about this whole testing situation, but I can't make any promises.
Understood. Yeah.
Sure.
Whole thing just makes us feel uncomfortable, especially since we didn't do anything wrong, and in fact, we were doing the right thing, and now we're getting fucked.
No, I get you. I completely agree too. I understand. It's just I don't really have the power to say yes, no, don't do this without pulling rank, and I don't want to pull rank if we're trying to have you avoid the prince's decree, if you know what I mean.
I understand.
So,
For sure. We'll figure something out.
anyways,
Let's see what you can do, and anything, even if it's a delay, so we can figure something out, be appreciated.
right. Well, I'm gonna head back to the hotel. You guys just watch your asses right now, and if you need
too.
anything, send messages to Mitchell. I've made sure that he's secured just to me, and so that's a secure channel of communication right now.
If
Perfect.
you need anything done, obviously on the back end, you need something found, something we can do, just hit us up. You know our numbers, or Mitchell knows our numbers. Either way.
I might. There's some things that I've got kind of angles on right now, and we'll see where it goes.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, you gentlemen have a good night, and wherever Lamont is, let him know about what's going on. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep
we'll
him
definitely
in
let him know. He's actually at he went for a meeting with what's her name, right? At the tattoo shop.
The Painted Lady Tattoo Shop.
Yeah, the painted lady. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I heard
yeah,
she's
they
done
weren't even
really
at
good work.
Elysium, so
the loop. Yeah. Tattoo party.
All right. Well, I'll let you all go. See you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Good night.
Stay safe.
Yep. And she'll walk towards the door, open it, and just casually walk out. Now, when you look at the door, there's no damage at all. She somehow unlocked the door.
And she got shadows. I don't know how she uses them shadows.
So you hear a car start down the street and kind of pull off, leaving you guys alone in the Haven. It's roughly 3 o'clock in the morning.
Good thing she didn't go downstairs, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's hidden. Like you guys have that as like a hidden basement area,
Right.
remember?
It looks kind of like a brick wall until you walk up to it and fuck
Yeah.
with it and see that it's not real. Eventually, oh no, because that'll draw shit to it too. Fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll grab the stack of books and shit, and I'll start putting them down where it's safe, back downstairs behind the wall, where we
Sheriff,
keep all the rest of our ritual shit.
Don't mind us. We're just here to drop off our Santa sack full of Baali shit.
Right.
Right.
The shit that
What
would
is
get us
that?
all killed,
Oh.
and probably including
it's
you,
just-
because we're friends. So don't worry about this here
It's
sack of
fucking Jeff.
evil.
Oh, it's just some stupid shit. Don't worry.
I knew it was clear she had more important shit to talk about, so I'm like, yeah, this is no big deal.
Yeah,
These books are not here.
Some stupid.
Don't mind this bag of infernal goodies.
Right. Don't mind this bag of shit that'll get everybody associated with us killed, including you. Thanks.
So you go to put the books downstairs. I'm guessing you're going to stash the blood vials down in the sacrificial room too?
Yep.
All right.
I'm definitely going to go through some of the books, provided we're not fucked with for the rest of the about 2 hours and 45 minutes that's left before we got to pass the fuck out. I'll just go through some of it to look and see what type of other ruins or just knowledge in general this guy had. He was old as fuck. There's got to be crazy shit in these books.
So there's a lot of stuff to devour here. Like this will take at least a night or so to go through all of them. Are you just randomly looking, or are you looking for anything in specific?
I'll probably start with the shit that was in the safe.
Okay. So in the safe, you have a lot of moleskin. Someone's written in Akkadian, someone's written in Spanish, ironically, and some Latin too. The
Let me
Spanish,
double
you're
check,
not
'cause
quite.
I think I have the Spanish. I think is the only one I don't have, because I have Akkadian, Latin, Spanish. I have all.
That's why you bought Spanish, because you're tired of dealing with the Yesenia
wanted-
just speaking Spanish.
Right, and I wanted to lip read that bitch while she's talking shit.
In the books, you find out that it seems to be his progress reports while he's been in the city. You discover that he's been chatting up Ballard as an in with the hierarchy to kind of get the inside track and information. You find out that they have shut down a couple of wells in the city. 3 that they shut down, actually. They shut down 3 wells in the city of Chicago. There's one in the south, one on the west, and one on the north side of the city. They knew the primary well was
they were
somewhere in the loop. They don't know where it was, but they knew it was somewhere in the loop, which jives with what you guys found underneath the hotel.
Right.
They set up some wells to start trying to counter the effects. There's no address, but the neighborhood description matches where you found the Bahari with those Baali.
Oh, okay. The house would be destroyed.
It looks like also as you're going through this, as the sun's starting to kind of slowly make your eyes a little heavy, Larsen was compiling a report for backup when he was killed. Like he was actually putting this down into more succinct form to send off as a report of some sort.
Right, and he never got a chance to send it out because he got grabbed too quick.
Yep.
Good to know.
There's a lot more here, including what looks like some sort of cipher involving those vials because you see the colors. But that was going to take like probably a night to go through. So you'll probably have to handle that either Monday night or Tuesday or whenever you guys have a chance.
Sure.
But
Basically,
at this point,
if we have downtime, I don't know if we're going game session as day to day at this point, which it might be. But
well,
if we have downtime, that's what I'll be doing is going through all that shit. And I'm assuming so is our mentor after tonight's game because I'll be waking him up. So.
right. So you'll kind of crash out. You do note, though, that it's probably going to be, from what you're gathering, the notes that you're reading from his desk and all that, you're going to want to go through this sooner rather than later. Like, you want to do more than just like, oh, we'll just do it if we do a large stretch of time.
Gotcha. So, like, the next night. That's fine. I'll dedicate the next night unless something comes up.
I've got nothing on my list. It's going to be basically for this moment what you guys want to do. If you want to spend an entire night reading these books, we can definitely do that.
Probably.
So,
the only other thing I really do want to get to is $100,000, though it's only money, will be fucking helpful when it comes to anything monetary.
That's
so I
true.
do want to get to that at some point as well, just so we can get a location, because I can get a location relatively quick
All right.
Via my ritual, and then tip this guy off so we can get paid.
So you wake up the next night. I need you to make your rouse check. As you get up, shake off the day sleep, you rouse from your death-like state.
Rise from your grave. Oh, I will gain a hunger finally.
You're at 2. Finally.
My good luck wore off, man. I made like 3 or 4 rouse checks and was okay.
So Sullivan, when he made his rouse check for Monday night, failed. Gets a little hungrier. How's Preston do?
Oh, I was afraid you were going to ask that.
Goes back up to hunger 3. So you wake up getting a bit more hungry. It's not to the point where you're on the verge of frenzy. You're just getting like, okay, I should probably eat sometime soon.
Yep.
Or have a really quiet night and not worry about too much shit. And as it looks like, as you're getting refreshed for the evening and walking around, Sullivan's just tearing through all these books and trying to look through these little moleskin notebooks. I need you, Jeff, to make a academics plus wits roll, difficulty 3.
Ooh, that's pretty fucking harsh.
So you'll need 3 successes. You have 4 dice left.
I will use all 4 dice because this is probably important if the diff is 3.
Wow, all right.
7 will do.
Oh, shit. 7 will blow past that diff 3, that's for damn sure. You rolled 8 dice. Nice job, sir.
Yeah, it was a really good roll.
So here's what you discover. First off, in the cipher you decode, which is a weird mixture of Sumerian and like that Akkadian dialect and some Latin, you find out that he was making notes to deliver a detailed report to a chatterling called Hawker in Joliet at the end of March. He got caught before that and subsequently killed. The 4 vowels.
Really?
A chatterling.
Right on. I thought, all right, cool. And that's in where?
Joliet.
And that was when?
It's supposed to be in March. The end of March.
So that should have happened already.
Yeah, he never made it there.
Oh, that sucks to be that guy.
So
it's good to know that there's a fucking chatterling in Joliet too. We might need that.
the 4 vials of blood. This is where shit gets crazy. 1 vial of blood belongs to Prince Jackson.
Wow.
1 vial of blood belongs to Ballard. 1 vial of blood belongs to Yesenia.
Wow. Impressive.
And 1 vial of blood belongs to Critias.
Oh.
How we got that shit?
So we got Jackson's blood, Ballard's blood, Yesenia's blood, and Critias's blood. Alrighty then. I could probably do some terrible shit with that when I get the right ritual knowledge.
That breaking that cipher and decoding that series of books takes you roughly 3 hours. So it's probably 11.
Did it say how he got any of these, or just that's who it belongs to?
Arca.
Oh, that sneaky little fucking demon. Deception is his thing. Fucking kudos. Well done.
You also get now a little more detail if you spend the rest of the night if you guys are relaxing and just trying to devour what was in his lair, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit's dangerous outside. We can stay home for a night.
So he knew that Blackwaters were at the center of the rites. Beyond a shadow of the doubt, he knew it was the Blackwaters. Knew Narissa was the main figure in the city.
we got lucky to stumble across that information when we did. So it's impressive that he was able to suss that out in the short time he was here.
Well, he had a team here.
Yeah, that's true. And they were Black Hand or former Black Hand, anyways.
Right. The real Black Hand, not the Sabat Black Hand.
Right.
Additionally, what you were trying to put together before about the 13 clans, what it comes down to in rather flowery language is the blood of the 13 families are needed to raise one of Nurgle's Get. You have to distill their essence, an entire vampire's worth, and their soul into the ritual to raise up a Tal Shen. And he has an idea that the cultivar were already eyeballing certain members of clans for abduction for the ritual.
It makes sense with the people that are missing right now.
Right. Additionally, the ritual he's assuming is going to take place on a very particular day of the year. May 26th of 2021. It's a lunar eclipse, blood moon, supermoon.
Yep.
Between 1:11 a.m. or excuse me, 4:11 a.m. and 4:26 a.m. It's a very short window that everything lines up perfectly for a major work of magic. And this is where he thinks
also very close to sunrise, so this shit needs to be done right.
Yeah, there is no room for error in this. You have to do it properly.
So we definitely need to we don't actually need to do anything because he's dead, so he can't perform that, right? Or is that what he thinks?
No, that's what
that's
what he thinks the Blackwaters are doing to raise up El Tal Shen. That's their window.
He didn't find out an exact location though. That's not in the notes, right?
No.
Just that I bet you it's near that fucking well though.
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe our mentor will have more insight.
Preston, you want to roll Wits Resolve?
On the goddamn boat. Wits Resolve.
That's a good point too. Could be out in the middle of Lake Michigan.
You can do it.
It's all the more dangerous that close to fucking dawn.
I have 4.
Oh,
roll.
Nice. Yeah, remember when you were on that fucking boat and Rowley got really thin?
Yep.
He might be in the middle of the lake where that ritual is being done.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the lake. So that's where the ritual is going to be.
All right. So we have a date, we have a time, we have a location. We just need to figure out how we're going to take the fight to a thing that can stand toe-to-toe with whatever it wants to, because it's not part of this fucking reality.
It's also 24 days away.
That's true. And we have to survive that 24 days in a Sabat Second Inquisition-ridden city. Oh, buddy. Well, we got 24 days to fill Lamont in on some shit.
What about Portia? Didn't she say we'd fight him together or something similar to that to you?
She did. But I don't know where to find her. I don't know what the fuck she is. She's not a fucking Ancilla Toreador. Feed off my memories through my blood like some sort of weird fucking demon chick. No.
Yeah, clearly not. And if she's not willing to outright engage Narissa, I mean, if we could get her to at least do enough to stop this ritual, that would be enough for us.
And it doesn't just have to be her. We could set it up. Maybe. If we can somehow set up the discovery of that well to trickle into something that points towards Lake Michigan while fucking the Tremere at the same time, that's like the perfect ending. Because then it's not just her going, it'll be the sheriff, fucking whoever the prince decides to send, right? I mean, we just need to fuck this ritual up. A bunch of uninvited guests fucks up rituals. Trust me. I know and you know.
Well,
fuck, I could pull fucking Arca back in that time, make a deal with him, and just have him go fuck it up. It probably won't work like that, but like we got 24 days to figure out how to stop this, or we're all fucked, buddy.
But I mean, countermeasures will be taken by Narissa for sure. It's not like they're going to be out in the open where anybody can just ride up on a boat and, disrupt what they got going on. There's going to be defenses.
Yeah, I mean, she's got whoever her chilled, right? She's got whoever she can mentally mess up. I mean, Lester was gone, right? So she's got Lester, who's, at least an Ancilla gangrel. He's got probably Rosa, because somebody had to go down there and clean that shit up, and Narissa's not going to bother with it. What does she give a fuck? She's got 24 days to rebuild whatever is left of the cultivar that we didn't kill, right?
Yep.
But how many of those people does she need for this ritual? So, like, her defenses can't be super great. We fucked up a lot of her shit that would probably went to trying to get this ritual to go off. We just need to throw enough at it to distract whoever's protecting her, and enough to get out there to get her to fuck up a word. A word fucks that ritual. Easier said than done. Oh man, it's gonna be a stressful 24 days.
We need
Quincy.
Quincy.
Give me at most a day or two, and I'll be able to get him up. Or we fast track it and give him some of Critias's blood.
That would wake his ass up.
Hell yes, it would wake his ass up. Critias is an old potent motherfucker. And we know that shit from talks on Elysium. Like, that's not even a secret. Shit, we probably could have woke him up with Damien's blood if we found Damien and were able to get it from him, but it's up to you. We can either wait and let me learn how to do it, because I'm gonna learn how to do it anyway. So like, even if we wake him up now, that's not deterring me from furthering my knowledge in the path of blood. But we can wake him up right now with that vial.
We should save that vial. If you're going to be able to do it anyways, we should save that vial.
Okay. At most a day or two.
Yeah, if you're going to be able to do it by your own abilities anyways, then I see no reason to waste the resource of extremely potent Kindred Vitae.
Okay. That's fair. Well, here you go. I'll hand you a book. There's more shit here. There's shit we got off the desk. We got loose leaf paper. We don't know what goes to where yet. We're gonna be busy for the rest of the night unless somebody calls or something, because this is important. This shit needs to be gone through.
Yep.
And the more we can abridge, the more we can inform Quincy about, the quicker he can go grab or point us to where we need to study further. Because I guarantee you, us waking him up and going, oh, by the way, Altal Shen will be awake, soon.
Don't say the fucking name.
It's too late. Like, all right, so from what I can gather from the dreams I've had, from the visions I've had, from what we've read, at this point, I don't think it matters if we say its name, because we're tied to it. It is part of our lineage. We come from it.
Don't say his name.
All right. It's not like Beetlejuice or something, or Candyman.
Do you want
It's
to
not
take
gonna
the
pop
risk?
out of a mirror. No, I don't, actually. That's fair. All right, fucking let's start reading. I'm gonna start tearing through info, Ray.
You basically just get more of, his notes of potential targets manipulation in the city. Ballard's is the first one that allows him in to get to the hierarchy. He found that Damien's will or need to be somewhat free of his sire and to be his own Cainite as opposed to constantly watched over was starting to chafe. Critias is getting a little more protective subtly of his chilled. He believes that Critias can be manipulated because he seems at some points to be unstable. He doesn't know why. He just knows that there's something desperate lurking within the ancient's frame. Something in his mind is on the verge of snapping. He knows that Dusable was working with Sierra behind the scenes since she arrived, essentially, and was positioning to be like a figurehead for the Tremere should they come back into graces. He does have some conjecture in his notes, though. He thinks that Sierra's playing a long game, but he feels she's too impatient to play it all the way through with what happened with her broodmate. He is also very wary of Yesenia.
Rightly so.
Well, he has her name, and then underlined with a question mark is the name Salubri.
Would we know Salubri with our academics and occult and shit? I mean,
Yes.
in theory. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They hunt low humanity kindred, even though they're the healers. They are there to purge, essentially, in some cases.
Well, that would make sense, due to the fact that we've heard now multiple times that she hunts down Baali, and that's kind of what Salubri did back in the day, if I remember our history correctly.
Yeah, you can get some of that. Also, she's been around people when they've been brought out of torpor, so...
In theory, if the Tremere don't already know that, we may be able to use that as a bargaining chip to not be subjected to this blood. Be like, hey, there's a Salubri in town.
You do have a trait of her blood.
We do. And we can get that tested so they can verify. Because if I remember correctly, the whole issue they had is the Camarilla thought they were demons or trafficked with demons. That's why they killed them.
Yeah, and nowadays it's also an issue of them, when they use powers, they start bleeding, like stigmata-wise. and it can drive other kindred to frenzy. So they're kind of viewed as like, even if without the backing of the Tremere Pyramid, which is no longer, it's a fraction of its former power, without Tremere pressuring the Camarilla, the Salubri still cause issues because of that bleeding issue. So like they're still kind of shunned. The Tremere want them dead for their own reasons or whatever. It's like almost desperately so. And the Baali, like they're a direct danger to you guys. So a lot of reason for them to have enemies.
So we have that now as a bargaining chip. So
But I
if
will
we do
say
have
this.
to go do this,
But I will say this before you get started. Sorry. You know that Yesenia is probably known as what she is to Sierra. Remember
Sure.
when you guys took the Black Hand members to Sierra's place and she had Yesenia bring them out of torpor, and Alexa was like, what the fuck was that about? We need to talk. And when Sierra addressed them, she was like, well, don't worry about it. So Sierra
Right.
probably knows and is keeping it a secret, which is probably why Yesenia is helping Sierra out, because she's keeping it a secret.
right? So, but if we don't say anything until the time comes when we hand it over to them, to the Tremere, instead of our blood, that puts Sierra on the spot. Who does she more value, her or us? And at that point, she has to make a decision which one is going to out her with somebody too. So it behooves her to shut the fuck up when we present this, if it comes to that.
Does anybody want to roll a manipulation in politics?
Sure do.
Absolutely, Ray.
Sure do.
I got 2 successes.
Are those 2 10s?
No, it's just 1 10 and 1 6.
I got nothing.
Do you want to spend a willpower to reroll up to 3 of those? Oh, they're hunger dice. Never mind. You have 1 that you would get. It's not worth it. So Sullivan got 2 successes. I'm going to give you somewhat of an overview here, unless you want to blow willpower to try to roll more.
No, because I only had 2 dice rolled up there,
Okay.
and the other 2 are hunger.
So here's the overview that you can get from scheme level on down, right? You guys are social manipulators. You have played the game
I'll be
very
kicking
well.
this back to Preston too.
Okay. You guys are social manipulators. You've been playing the game very well. You know, you guys use deception as part of your survival mechanisms in Kindred Society. You play politics dirty. By seeing all the connections going to Sierra right now, and there are a lot of them you guys have put together tonight and over the course of the time, she's scheming on the throne. 100%. She's got the Tremere, who have always been looked down upon by Jackson's throne. She's promising them favors. She's in their favor enough to actually hang out with them. She's got a Salubri in her employ that she's keeping a secret. She's got you guys acting hostile towards her Elysium, so she has concealed resources. If she does to you guys and you're relatively low on the totem pole, how many higher ups has she kind of got the same deal working with? We know that Critias's faith has been shaken in Jackson. Sierra's taken over as sheriff. Damien's actually happy with that. So there's a potential situation where Damien's actually owing her a favor because he's no longer having to deal and play sheriff. He can do his own thing with the band now. So
Right.
watching that
He's got
web of
baby course.
influence, right? Watching that web of influence that she's got growing, it's probably her scheming on taking Jackson's seat. And the Sabat attacks and the First Light, them being here, and the chaos that fucking Sun has been causing with you guys' help, is just making Jackson look more and more unstable, where she can come in and say, hey, listen, I brought order back to the city in some respects, give it to me the full, or she'll just try to take it.
Right. And if we, at that point, if we have to, or at any point really, we could always get out of damn near anything, I think, if we just straight up tell her we'll help her get the throne. Well, now that we have put that together, I think we have a more than good enough poker hand to make shit happen in 24 days.
Another fun part of the evening for them, we have a meeting from Sierra that was completely unexpected. We have a deal with a demon. That's going to be fun to explain to Lamont. And we have utter chaos across Chicago. So I don't know what they're going to do next, but I guess we'll find out together. See you guys next episode.